Have you taken early withdrawal from your 401k? Read an article that said 2 out of every 5 Americans have withdrawn early from their 401k. About 10% of them did it more than once, and 2/3 of those don't ever plan to pay it back. Thought that was kind of interesting statistics from 401k specialist article that I read. It, although I'm not planning to withdraw from my 401 IRA, any of my retirements early, neither is my wife. It kind of makes you wonder why they were doing that. And I've only known one person in my life that actually withdrew from his 401k. And his reasoning was that he lost his job, and part of it too, he lost his job, couldn't find work, and he withdrew, but he just spent money too. He was just spending money, wasting his money on non-survival stuff. Like, he was just buying stuff left and right like it was a regular paycheck, which I thought was crazy. And eventually he moved on, but it just kind of shocked me. But the article went on to say that the number one reason why people were taking a withdrawal from their 401ks, and they were just talking about 401ks in this instance, was to pay off credit card debt. Credit card debt was the number one thing that people were pulling money out of their 401k to pay off. The other ones that came in not far behind the credit card debt was medical, reoccurring bills, update to their house or something like that. I get it, trying to get out of debt is important and stuff, but I don't know if I would pull from my 401k. I probably would look at other options, and they probably looked at other options as well. But for me, taking a 10% penalty is a lot of money to put on that plate, and you'll have to pay taxes on top of that. I don't know. It's a bigger hole than it's worth just to pull money out. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people do it. I don't think I would do it, but I was kind of shocked to read that 2 out of every 5 Americans, just Americans, are pulling from their retirement plan, potentially gypping themselves out of retirement even more. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I personally, if I wanted to pay off credit card debt, I would do what I did in the past and get a consolidation loan through the bank. I have a very good bank, or I don't use a bank. I use credit unions. I have done that before a couple of times to get out of debt, and I don't think it ever crossed my mind to try to pull from my 401k. I contributed to my 401k and never even gave it a second thought outside the initial setup until around COVID. Then I decided to look and see where I was at financially with that. But yeah, paying off debt is very, very important, but still, just to pull that money out to pay your credit card or what other kind of debt, I don't know. Now, I know in some circumstances, reoccurring medical costs or something, maybe there's a logical reason to do that. It's hard to say, why the individuals were doing it and why, what the circumstances they're in. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs, wants, and situations different. But from my point of view, I couldn't do it. So yeah, just interesting. So my suggestion would be to look at other possible avenues to pay off debt, um, before you start pulling anything, before you start pulling it from your retirement plan. Make sure that's the last, not the first to go to. Um, why jip yourself later in life, unless you don't have that long of a timeline. But even if you do, you know, try to replace it if you can, or you know, do good research to figure out if there's a better option for you. Anyways, food for thought. 2 and 5, and only 2/3 decided not to pay it back. And only 10% of those 10% of those did it more than once. So, all right, food for thought. Later, guys.